It's Wax Sleep spills the tea. Give it to me, baby. Maybe some brisk today. Maybe some Nestle. Maybe some Snapple even. What do you got for me? What you got?
Brisk. That sounds nice. The brisk in the can. The regular 12-ounce can. That's a really nice tea beverage. So the first little bit of tea I'm going to spill, you probably heard about this. Roman Reigns apparently has a new kind of deal contract worked out with WWE where he's basically going to be working like Brock Lesnar. He's not going to be working very many dates, more money, less dates, and he's going to be taking a significant amount of time off after SummerSlam. There's rumors thinking he might be doing some Hollywood stuff, making some movies.
Hollywood. Yep,
yeah, that's what I'm hearing. And apparently it's already been announced he's not going to wrestle next month at their Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. So yeah, it kind of sucks. He has both world titles, so I'm not sure how I feel about that. Like with him having both belts and never being there.
I think that they're going to get to Cody versus Roman at SummerSlam, and I think Cody's going to be the next champ. I think that's the build. It's built in, man. I mean, the family name versus the bloodline. I came back, and you're not the only legacy wrestler, and blah blah blah. And Cody is easily the hottest thing they've had going in years. I mean, he had a banger of a match with Seth Rollins again. I think that he's more than proven he's the guy, and I think that he's keeping interest. I mean, the rating spike that happened when he came back has kind of maintained. They definitely grew their ratings just from having him on Raw. So I think that just knowing that kind of tells Vince, hey, give him the ball. Especially if we're going to have Roman leave. WWE's always been a babyface territory anyway, and I think he's the perfect guy to kind of move into that more Cena-ish role, meaning that once half the crowd starts booing him, he can still kind of play that babyface and be that Cena where half the heart, the smart marks hate him, and then the casuals still love him or whatever. But where do you think? How do you think it's going to end up for Roman Reigns?
I don't know. If he does drop it to somebody, I definitely could see it being Cody. That'd be a perfect person for him to drop it to.
Perfect.
Like you said, Cody, he knows how to work it. He can be a baby face. But who's not a baby face?
Who's that?
Sonny, who's officially being charged with DUI manslaughter, driving on a suspended revoked license, and 7 counts of DUI causing damage to a person or property for that little spout she had that we talked about a couple weeks ago now.
Yeah,
so she's
I know
officially getting charged.
Yeah, I mean, it's rough. I know that there's been a lot of Hall of Famers that have said that she should be removed, and I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. But
I mean, it's a joke Hall of Fame anyways, if we want to be honest. Like, who cares if they remove her from the Hall of Fame? I mean, they can Benoit her if they want to, just erase her from the history, but it's whatever Vince wants. I don't think,
I mean, see, I can understand that whole, like, it's a joke, it's a TV show, it's a joke Hall of Fame. But, I mean, until there's something else that's better, then it is the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? And until there's something else that is legitimately better. And I don't mean like the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame where, like, no one sees it, no one hears about it. It's just, just for the boys or whatever. It's like, nah, that's not the same. Like, we need to have, like, if we had an actual legitimate Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, maybe. But, I mean, WWE Hall of Fame right now is the Hall of Fame. And I can understand the arguments to remove her. I know
Mark Henry, he's been upset about it. He was very vocal, and so was Bill DeMott, Hugh Morris, but I don't know why he's not even in the Hall of Fame or even Hall of Fame worthy. So
not at all.
I think he just needs to,
Moving on.
Yep. Set it on down. Charlotte Flair apparently is out indefinitely following her loss to Ronda Rousey. On TV, they're kayfabe saying it's like some type of injury, but I don't think it is at all. I think she's just taking some time off.
Getting married.
I don't think she's truly injured.
She's getting married.
She's getting married. Her and Andrade are tying the knot.
Yep.
Getting hitched.
Good for her. She deserves it. She's been carrying that division, her and Becky Lynch, for the past couple years now. So, yeah.
Wow, Becky that Lynch. Wedding reception is going to be a fucking party.
Yeah.
I can imagine, dude.
Yep.
That'd be crazy. So, well, who's also crazy? Eric Bischoff apparently lately just being a salty old bitch, complaining about everything on like an even bigger than Jim Cornette level about everything recently.
I think it's a work, and I think he's killing it. I think.
Okay. So if it's a work, then I agree. He is. Killing it.
It's his only form. He's not. I mean, yes, there's no. It's a win for him. He's like now with the whole Patreon ad-free thing. He has his diehard fans. He can be like Eazy-E Eric Bischoff. Like he's right now. This is what Eazy-E is. Like, this is Eazy-E Eric Bischoff. This is not who he is as a person. His Twitter persona is his gimmick. That's all he has. And I think he's killing it. It's like, dude, by all means, rip everything apart. You're never going to work for either company, and you're only going to get more people that will pay to listen to you on Patreon the more shit you talk. So keep it up. Keep it up.
Okay.
My hat's off.
If you're coming from that angle, I see where you're coming from. That's pretty good. But if he's not and he's like for real about it, then yeah, he's just kind of a salty old bitch. But
plus, I think CM Punk is a turd, and so I think that like CM Punk kind of getting the giving him more notice is like to me.
Yeah, the CM
to me,
Punk
I
stuff,
almost feel like
yeah.
that's a work too. Like I feel like Punk is like I think they're working, but it is what it is.
Well, speaking of working, the boys are going to be working down in Nashville, Tennessee on June 19th because Impact Slammiversary is coming back.
Nice, cool. What's the venue? Like just the
Fairgrounds,
Impact Zone or
Fairgrounds? I want to say.
Nice. Okay.
Slammiversary, which it didn't look too good on camera. Maybe they'll have some better lighting or something this time, but that NWA show just didn't look very good at the Fairgrounds. But Impact usually has better.
But yeah.
Impact has a better setup and usually better production, to be honest. And their new tag team champions just announced, or not announced, but the other day on their little Impact Plus special, the Briscoes, longtime ROH World Tag Team title holders, are now the new Impact champions. So I think it's pretty cool. And on the pay-per-view, recently released NXT star Mia Yim made her return to the promotion.
Oh, cool. Very cool. I like that. That makes sense. It's a better fit for her.
And some other big news, Willie Mack and Jonah are both done with Impact. Their contracts have expired, and they're just going to move on elsewhere. They haven't really said where yet. And so, yeah, their roster's kind of getting shooken up right now. And Frankie Kazarian is supposed to be making his debut back on Impact here like next week.
Oh, cool. That makes sense. He's done with AEW, right?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's like Christopher Daniels where he's just working some Impact dates.
Yeah, that's possible. That's possible.
Because I don't think anything came up about his contract expiring. He doesn't really have any heat. But you know who has a lot of heat right now with their current promotion?
Who's that?
Kota Ibushi is having serious heat with New Japan right now. I don't know if you heard anything about this.
Yeah. So they're like, aren't they like kind of? Didn't he ask for a release or something like that? They're saying like online, it's like it's weirdly worded. It's like Kota Ibushi asks to be fired, and I'm like, you think you mean he asked
not
for
exactly.
his release?
So
like
I found someone who kind of like broke it down on Twitter, like broke down the Japanese, and like long story short, he had a shoulder injury. They want him to get surgery, and he's like, no, I don't want to get the surgery. I just want to like let it heal. And he was letting it heal. And they were like, all right, well, you got to come back and wrestle. And he's like, no, like I'm not ready. My shoulder's still fucked up. And they were like threatening to fire him because of that. And he's like, well, all right, fire me.
Yeah.
And then he started accusing them of he said a bunch of sexual harassment and saying that one of the executives is in the Yakuza and they're trying to like bully him. And he's just like laying it all out there. Just like he ain't playing around. He's speaking with his chest out.
But why?
Fuck this.
That's
because he's tired. Because he's tired of their bullshit. Because he left them for a while back back when he did the Cruiserweight Classic.
But he hated it here. He hated it in America.
No, here, yeah, but he was a freelance wrestler for like 3 or 4 years, where he could wrestle with like any promotion, and then he signed back with New Japan, and now they're back to their old bullshit that he's just not down with. So he's like trying to make him wrestle while he's injured and a couple other things. It's pretty crazy.
Well, I hope.
And he said like sexual harassment and like Yakuza involvement. Like that's getting pretty serious. Like
bold,
especially for Japan when you're calling out people as Yakuza. Like, dude,
bold. It's bold.
Very, very bold. So maybe we'll go back to being a freelancer. And yeah, that's pretty fucking crazy to me.
That's wild. Yeah, I mean, Ibushi's got some balls for sure. I mean, I'd love to see him make his return to the States. I mean, people can say what they want about this, but I do really feel like he should get a WWE run at some point, and I think that the product's getting better. I feel like we've been on this train for years about WWE being shit, but I do think they're getting better.
Yeah. Cody's match on Raw Monday, great match.
Not just Monday. Yeah, I mean, I genuinely think now, like Raw is too long of a show, and I know we're like bunny trailing off of Ibushi here, but Raw is too long of a show. It's 3 hours long, but I mean, there's something good on Raw every week now. There's something good on SmackDown every week. I'm not saying the whole show is good, but there's something good on each of those shows every week. Now, NXT is shit. There's nothing good happening on that show, period, in my opinion.
That's true about SmackDown. I randomly tuned into SmackDown the other Friday, and I told you, I was like, "Yo, I'm watching the New Day versus Sheamus and Ridge Hall," and y'all were like, "You're watching SmackDown?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's not bad. This is actually a pretty fucking good match."
Yeah, it's not. I mean, so you know what? We've been asking them for years, and I feel like they're starting to listen. I mean, genuinely, I feel like things are getting better. Things are getting brighter. Things are going to get easier.
Things are not getting brighter for Hikaru Shida because she was injured in that big match she had against Serena Deeb, and she has to step out of the Owen Hart tournament, and she's being replaced with Chris Statlander.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is a solid replacement, but it's a bummer because no one likes to get hurt. No one likes to see your wrestlers injured and on the shelf.
Nope, not at all.
And other big possible news coming out from AEW, All Out is going to possibly not be in Chicago and be in Toronto this year.
That's a bad move, but okay.
Because they're getting ready to because they're going to have Forbidden Door in Chicago literally a month before.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah.
Like why? Like they don't want to run Chicago back to back.
So we're gonna have Double or Nothing, then a New Japan show, and then
wait, never mind. No, never mind. They just don't want to run it again because they just ran that. So because All Out's usually in like September.
Right.
They just didn't want to run two big Chicago shows in 1 year.
Okay. I'm okay with that. That's fine with me.
Because people complain like, oh, Chicago gets all the big shows. And Canadian wrestling fans are,
rabid.
Just like, they're rabid. So it'll be fucking awesome they have a show in Canada. I think it'd be great. And, dude, speaking of great, Dynamite last night, this is on a Thursday, we're recording this, Darby Allin versus Jeff Hardy in the main event for the Owen Hart first round for the Owen Hart tournament. It was a no rules match, and those motherfuckers basically, I thought they were going to both die the entire match, and it was fantastic. It's everything I expected,
so I'll have to go back and watch it.
But I did not expect Jeff Hardy to get the win. Like, I thought it was just, dude, 100% Darby's going to win. Like, and they did all the big crazy spots, but Darby basically got rolled up by Jeff Hardy after the coffin drop into, like, a pin, like, under the ladder, and I'm like, after all this crazy shit, Jeff Hardy wins with a fucking wrestling move.
Whatever works, man. I don't know. I think that's a good call. I think it's a good call to get.
Dude, they can have the rematch now, so Darby can get that win.
Yeah. Plus, I think also not only that, but I think that like pushing Jeff's in a singles role as well as keeping the Hardys together is a good move. Period. As long as they can make it work storyline wise, which I'm sure they can.
Yeah, I'm hoping to possibly see that they have a match at the Forbidden Door show, which, as you know, sold out like literally immediately, and they released like a few extra tickets, and those immediately sold out. Like, it'd be fucking crazy. Maybe we could see like the Hardys versus, I don't know, maybe
Darby and Sting.
No, I'm talking about for a New Japan, like the Hardys versus Gorillas of Destiny. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, they're not really working as a team right now.
The Hardys versus, I mean, there's so many tag teams like I don't know, like just the Hardys versus anybody, to be honest.
Yeah, Hardys versus anybody is going to be good.
Any tag team will want to face them.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think there's any doubt there. I mean, it is interesting to see how they're going to match things up for the New Japan show, especially with such a short turnaround. I know that I'm super hyped for Double or Nothing coming up pretty soon. But yeah, what else we got on the tee? Are we out of here?
I think we're pretty much running out of tea for this one, so it might be time to set the tea down and get into some of that meat and potatoes.